Hello, Washea Wellness Warriors, and welcome back to Behind the Waves. I am Lauren, and today I am going to be talking about the magic of my creative process. If you didn't catch my last episode, I was just catching you up on why I was gone for a little bit, but now I'm getting back into the swing of things, and you will hopefully see a lot more from me. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I highly encourage you to do so, as it sets the foundation for this episode and ones to come in the future. So, let's take a deep breath in together, feeling the waves rise. Exhaling, letting the waves settle. There's something magical about the way in which I create. It's never rigid. It's never forced. It flows just like the tides, just like my breath, and like the way that water shapes itself around everything in its path. I work in waves, because trying to force creativity into a straight line, that never works for me. I can't be boxed into a rigid structure, showing up at the same time every day, doing the same thing in exactly the same way. That's not how my magic moves. So I slowed down and I let it come in cycles. I create when I'm overflowing, and I rest when I'm empty. And in doing so, I avoid burnout. And I stay in harmony and in alignment with myself, with my body, and with the natural flow of my energy. And the best part, I don't have to choose between what I need and what I want. I get to have both. And so do you. So let's dive into it. I used to think productivity meant pushing. That if I wasn't constantly doing, I was falling behind. But I've learned that my best work comes from when I'm honoring my natural rhythms. And I found that creating in waves is the way that works for me. There are days when the inspiration rushes in really, really fast, and I'm riding this wave, or these waves, as they come in. And when I do that, I am effortlessly creating and expressing myself. And I'm pouring my soul into my work. And then there are days when the tides or my energy pulls back. And instead of fighting it, instead of forcing myself to push through, I let myself rest. This rhythm, this balance, is how I keep going without burning out. And when I move like this, something shifts. My work feels lighter, my energy stays high, and I actually enjoy the process instead of dreading it. I used to really resist those quiet days, the slow days, the days where my mind felt still and empty. But now I see them as necessary. Because even when I'm having those slower days, I'm still here. I'm still present. I'm still incredibly powerful. And that is how I'm holding my creativity. I don't force the waves, I ride them. Burnout happens when we ignore our body's signs to slow down. It happens when we expect ourselves to always be in a state of productivity. But that's not sustainable. Your creativity needs space to breathe. Your mind needs room to wander. And your body needs moments of stillness. So instead of fighting the productivity side of things, what if you leaned into rest and the moments that are quiet and the moments where you are still? What if on the days when inspiration feels distant, you trusted that it's simply that your metaphorical ocean is pulling back, gathering energy for the next really big wave? What if you allowed yourself to rest without guilt? The truth is, we don't lose creativity. It doesn't abandon us. It simply moves in cycles and in seasons. And when we honor that, we never have to fear burnout again. Just like my creativity, my body thrives when I honor both what it needs and what it wants. I used to think that I had to choose, that if I wanted to be healthy, I had to sacrifice pleasure, that I had to restrict in order to feel good. But now I know the truth. I get to have both. I get to nourish myself with warmth and with grounding foods, with things that support my body and help me feel vibrant. And I also get to indulge. I get to savor things that bring me joy, the little pleasures that make life feel rich and full. There is no either or. I get to have both. I listen to my body, and some days she craves deep nourishment, and that can include warm teas, mineral-rich foods, meals that feel like medicine. And on other days, she wants something soft, something indulgent, something purely for the joy of it. And now I'm at a place where both are valid, both are welcome. I refuse to live in a state of restriction. I refuse to deprive myself. Because when we live in balance, when we allow ourselves to have both, we move through life with ease. There's no guilt, no shame, just honoring simply what feels good. And you get to have both too. So let me ask you, where are you making yourself choose? Where are you forcing productivity when your body is asking for rest? Where are you restricting joy when your soul is craving softness? What if you let yourself have both? What if you let yourself create in waves, trusting that rest is just as important as action? What if you let yourself eat in a way that nourishes you but also brings you pleasure? This isn't about extremes. It's about flow. It's about trust and about knowing that life was never meant to be rigid. It was meant to be lived in waves. And when you embrace that, everything changes. So, here is your invitation. For the next week, I would love for you to notice your own waves. Notice the natural flow of your creativity, of your energy, your hunger, and your desires. And instead of resisting those, follow them, or at least acknowledge them. If your mind feels full and inspired, let this be your permission slip to create without the rules. Let it pour out of you without hesitation. If your body feels tired and quiet, simply rest. Allow yourself to be still, knowing that inspiration will return when it's ready. And when you eat, ask yourself, what do I need right now? And then, what do I want? And give yourself both. Because this is where balance lives. This is where ease lives. This is where you get to feel good all of the time without the guilt or the burnout. This is where you get to have both. So, this is how I live. This is how I create. And this is how I move through the world without exhausting myself. And I want this level of ease for you too. So start paying attention. Start honoring your seasons. Start to give yourself both, what you need and what you want. And as you do this, watch what shifts. I can't wait to hear how all of this unfolds for you. Until next time, I hope that your day is soft and gentle, and I will see you soon.